Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of the Curtis Zone, where I, your amazing host Dylan J. Curtis, talk about all things action-packed children's programming. Do not be shy about hitting that like and subscribe button, because today is a very special request episode. Someone has requested that I talk about who is your favorite 6th Ranger. They specifically requested that I talk about all 6 Rangers from every season of Power Rangers, but that would be too long. So instead, we're going to be talking about all the 6 Rangers from the Saban era. Then we're going to go to the Disney era in a future video, and then another future video we're going to go to the Neo-Saban era. I personally have been excited for this episode, so let's get started, ladies and gentlemen. Do not be shy about hitting that like and subscribe button. Let's talk. Now, I'm only going to be talking about the 6 Rangers from the Saban era, the era from Mighty Morphin to Wild Force, okay? I'm not going to be talking about a lot about their powers. I'm just going to give you a quick little rundown of their origins and arcs throughout the series that they're in, and I'm going to tell you who my favorite is, and then you, the viewer, leave in the comment section down below who your favorite is. Don't be shy, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this is going to be a long one, so I hope that everybody's ready for it, okay? Let's get started.
She rocks that outfit for me, red dress H.O.T. indeed, so I advance.
Now the first 6th Ranger we're going to talk about, I know you knew we were going to talk about him first. It is Tommy. Tommy, who made his first appearance in the 5-part series known as Green with Evil. Tommy was originally a servant of Rita Repulsa. This is due to the fact that Rita had him under a spell. However, this would lead to the Power Rangers breaking the spell after destroying his legendary Sword of Darkness. And he would join the Power Rangers as the Green Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. However, that didn't last long due to the fact that the green power was only powered by Rita Repulsa and it had to be constantly charged. This would lead to Season 2 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, when Tommy would lose the Green Ranger power and become the White Ranger. He would then lead the Power Rangers after Jason left the team. But this would lead to the Power Rangers losing their powers after getting ninjas and all that other stuff, which I've talked about before in my History of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers episode, which you can find somewhere up here. Anyway, Tommy would then become the Red Zeo Ranger, but that is neither here nor there. Speaking of Zeo power, the next 6th Ranger we're going to talk about is the Gold Zeo Ranger. The Gold Zeo Ranger was originally known as Trey of Triforia, who has 3 different personalities to him: Trey of Courage, Trey of Wisdom, and Trey of Heart. Funny story about the 3 forms of Trey. They are actually triplets in real life. So yeah, there's that. Anyway, Trey of Triforia would go through many battles until he would be destroyed by the Machine Empire. This would lead to Trey of Triforia transferring his power to a returning Jason, who would become the 2nd Gold Zeo Ranger. However, that didn't last long, and eventually Trey of Triforia would take the Gold Zeo power back. But this would lead to Power Rangers Turbo. Now, there's not much to tell about Power Rangers Turbo. In fact, the only 6th Ranger is the Phantom Ranger, and he was very elusive. The only thing we know about the Phantom Ranger is that he had a Power Ruby, which controlled his entire power. But this would lead to Divatox taking that Power Ruby, but he would eventually get it back after he helped the Rangers get their new Rescue Turbo Zords, which was pretty awesome if you ask me. Moving into Power Rangers in Space, the 6th Ranger we're going to talk about from Power Rangers in Space is named Zane. Zane fought with the Red Ranger Andros on KO-35. However, he would be very badly injured, and so Andros would have no choice but to put him in a cryostasis chamber. When the other Rangers found him, he was still in that cryostasis chamber. But the chamber would malfunction and eventually open up and release Zane. Zane would then help destroy a monster that they were being attacked by. However, Zane's power was very limited due to the fact that he had been inside the cryo tube for too long. He would go on top of a mountain and get re-energized in order to fully morph and stay morphed for longer than 26 minutes. And so, this would lead to him battling so many battles with the Power Rangers, becoming the first Silver Ranger in Power Ranger history. Moving into Power Rangers Lost Galaxy, the 6th Ranger we're going to talk about is known as the Magnet Defender. Now, anyone who knows about Power Rangers knows that the Magnet Defender has the saddest origin story ever. He was the defender of his planet and until his planet would be attacked by Scorpius, and Scorpius would then destroy his son. However, his son would come back as a ghost and basically be haunting him. This is after the Magna Defender would fuse life forces with the Red Ranger's brother Mike, in order to escape an abyss that he was inside of. He would then come back for revenge against Scorpius, but like I said, his son would be haunting him and trying to bring him back to the side of good. This would lead to his redemption when the Magna Defender would stop a mountain dome from destroying all of Terra Venture. Who could forget that moment in Power Rangers Lost Galaxy when the Magna Defender was walking down the mountain dome, holding his son's hand in his, and both of them holding flowers. That was a very amazing moment. Anyway, this would lead to the Magna Defender joining forces once again with Mike, and Mike becoming the new Magna Defender. Now, moving into Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue, the Sixth Ranger from Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue is known as the Titanium Ranger. Now, his origin is very sad too, but it also has a bit of a redemption to it as well. His name is Ryan Mitchell. He's the son of Captain Mitchell, the leader of Lightspeed. But he would be kidnapped by the demon Diabolico when he was a child and be raised under his eye, being raised and trained as to be a demon. This would lead to him breaking into the Lightspeed Aqua Base and stealing the Titanium Morpher on his birthday. But this would also lead to a very big redemption arc when he would become the Titanium Ranger after he would find out that who his real father is. And so he would help the Rangers against Diabolico's demons. However, Diabolico would curse him with a very powerful Cobra curse, but this would lead to him going across the world to destroy the Cobra that has cursed him. So that's basically turning a frown upside down, ladies and gentlemen. Now we're going to talk about the Time Force 6th Ranger known as Eric Myers. Eric was once a member of the Silver Guardians. In fact, he was the second in command to the leader of the Silver Guardians. This was until he would find the Quantum Morpher. Now, he didn't know when or where the Quantum Morpher came from. All he knew is that it was very powerful, and it gave him amazing abilities to be the Quantum Ranger. It took a while for Eric to learn that the power of a Power Ranger is not the power itself, but the strength that comes from wielding it. This would lead to Eric questioning his role as a member of the Silver Guardians. This being torn between the power of the Silver Guardians and the power of being a Power Ranger. The final 6th Ranger we're going to talk about is Merrick from Power Rangers Wild Force. He's the second Silver Ranger in Power Ranger history. I know what you're thinking. The Titanium Ranger is technically the second Silver Ranger, but the Titanium Ranger, he's more of a grayish silver. He's more of a grayish white than silver. Now, Merrick himself, he was once the leader of the original Wild Force team who helped send the Animarium into the sky. And he was also very much in love with Princess Shayla. But he was cursed by the Orcs to become Zenaku, the Wolf Warrior. This was until the Rangers would break the mask which held Merrick hostage, and this would lead to Merrick's big redemption, becoming the new Silver Wild Force Ranger, the Howling Wolf Ranger. His arc was very cool, and his powers and weapons are amazing as well. Now, as far as who my favorite 6th Ranger is, I'm going to go with the Gold Zeo Ranger. Here's why. He's the most powerful of all of the 6 Rangers on this list, and also, he has the coolest Zord. His Zord is the largest Zord in all of Power Ranger history. I'm talking larger than the Delta Command Megazord, my friends. Also, I'm just going to say it so that everybody knows, the 6th Ranger, the Gold Zeo Ranger, I love his armor as well. His suit looks pretty cool, his powers are pretty cool, and his entrance was so epic, I thought it was pretty awesome. I mean, who didn't like it? Now, not much to talk about in the way of news, other than the fact that the premiere of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, it was overshadowed by Scary Movie. This is due to the fact that Scary Movie was more not well received by Gen Zs, whereas He-Man was. So more people went to see Scary Movie before they saw He-Man, and so He-Man is now facing a lot of backlash due to the fact that it's not making a lot of money its first couple of weeks in theaters. However, I personally saw it. I personally liked it. It was pretty cool. I can't wait to buy it on DVD and Blu-ray. The next piece of news I want to talk about is Avatar: The Last Airbender Season 2 is set to premiere very soon on Netflix, and they've already started on Season 3. This is due to the fact that they want to make sure that everything gets done as soon as possible. Alright, and Season 3 of One Piece is set to release in 2027, and between 2027 and 2028. This is due to the fact that they want to get it. They want to get through the Alabasta saga very quickly. I personally thought that season 2 of Avatar of One Piece was pretty fun. I mean, that's just me talking. I don't know about the rest of you guys. Alright, thank you so much for joining me here on the Curtis Zone, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that you guys had a good time with this as much as I enjoyed making it. Do not be shy about getting that comment section down below and tell me who your favorite Power Ranger Sixth Ranger is. I cannot wait to see your comments, ladies and gentlemen. As always, remember to hit that like, subscribe, and share button for more content here on the Curtis Zone, because we want you to share this with other people, because we want other people to join the Curtis Zone, ladies and gentlemen. I hope to see you guys soon.